of the one-way junk journaling group. This is Gina Maybe coming at you from Phoenix, Arizona. The holidays are coming up, and I found that Carolyn created a few years ago a holiday planner. And if you're like me, you love to be with family. It's a lot of fun, all that stuff, but you're not the most organized. The other day, all of a sudden, this inspiration came to me, and I took out some paper and I did all this stuff, and I created my own planner. Of course, you can customize it any way you want to, but whenever YouTubers say, oh, whatever you want, I'm like, what? Would you please just tell me? So I'm going to tell you, and then you could decide how you want to do it. If these are printed on 65-pound paper, that's my favorite weight. And these are all, you're going to print on a single side. You need a page that's going to be your front cover. And I chose this one. I felt like it was a no-brainer. We'll be cutting these in half a lot. So you need this page, or a page, to be your cover. You will need on cardstock one of these. This is the one that I call the recipe cards page. You will need one of these, which I call the wish list page, and some tabs. Whatever other ephemera that you have, that you want, print it out, bring it to the table. This is the other one from the holiday planner kit that I have. It's got the tabs and these things, all right? I usually use white cardstock, but I decided to be daring and bold, and I tried black. And you need 6 pieces of this cardstock. 65 pounds or more is the weight that I recommend. This is something that you're going to be layering this in the middle. So if yours is lighter than 65 pounds, that's okay, because it's going to get thicker. This is the grocery list page. I chose to have 7 weeks worth of planner pages. So the grocery list, you want to have one grocery list per week that you have. In other words, if you want to make an 8-week planner, you will need 8 lists. That's 4 pages. And again, you're going to print those on a single side. This page has Black Friday and Cyber Monday shopping. You need 2 of these. These are one-sided. And by the way, when mine print out, I do have the little white, tiny little white edge. And so I've already cut all those off. And I shared my creation with Carolyn and told her what I was planning to do to kind of customize it. She was kind enough to whip out a freebie coming to the one-way journal group. So take a look for this. When you have that, I printed out one of the Christmas Eve menu page. On the back of that page, I have the Christmas menu. In my family, we really celebrate on Christmas Eve. That's when we focus on Christ, and we'll play games and stuff like that. And Christmas Day, we have the silliness and the fun of the Santa Claus stockings, and we're all tired and playing. That's why I have Christmas Eve page. I also have a Thanksgiving menu page, and on the back of this, you will want to print the New Year's Eve menu page. One more time. One side on paper needs Thanksgiving menu. The other side should be the New Year's Eve menu. Also, in the lightweight paper department, you need 6 full decorative pages. 5 of these you will end up cutting in half, and you'll end up using 10 different panels that are this size, the half-page size. But I just put this here so you could see kind of an assortment. This was one of my favorite pages. I loved that color, and I live where cotton grows here in Arizona, so I really love those cotton blossoms. And I just took a couple of my favorite pages, and you'll see along the way we'll be cutting those in half. You will need 2 of the My Calendar pages, and we're going to end up cutting these in half, one side each. This is what I call the note paper. It's just the blank, and you need 4 of these. And what I did was I put them on the front and the back. 1 page of gift planner. Isn't that nice? Little checklist. And I printed it on the front and the back. And finally, I have 2 pages of the to-do and it's front and back. You'll end up with one to-do list per week in your planner. You need 2 magnets, 2 Velcro dots, so I'll have an element that you can take out. And you will need 3 lengths of elastic cording. I got this at my local dollar store, and you need about 16 inches in length. So we're gonna wrap this around a page. If you're newer to junk journaling and you want to kind of up your game, maybe this will tickle your fancy. You want it to be very thin. I wish that I had more of a holiday color to go with my journal, but I don't, and who cares? Has to be a little junky, otherwise it wouldn't be a junk journal, right? Let me not forget, there's a page that has these headers, these little labels, and you'll want this. Whether you put it on a lightweight paper or cardstock, that's whatever is your preference. So now we'll put together the body of the folio, and we'll need your 6 pieces of cardstock. 3 of these pieces of cardstock, you're simply going to score down the middle and fold in half. And these are 8.5 by 11. So I know that 5.5 of a length is going to be right smack in the middle. So I'll score this one. And I'm going to score this one here. Half spot. So I am 5.5 inches in here, and I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to score it gently on the outside. And then from there, I need to give it it to have the ability to fold over 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to come back to, I'm going to move over to the edge of this, where I have the 5. So here, if I have my 5.5 right here, all right. So if you take a look at this here, I'm at 5.5 right here, and I need it to be 3/8. And so it's going to be 1, 2, 3. See there? So I need to scoot this little, what should I grab here? I'll grab this. Maybe this will help. There we go. So now I can see that if I will push this over to this spot right here, and I go ahead and push down and score, guess what I have? Now I have a 3/8 of an inch spine, if you will. And you can fold that. And this is going to be very gentle. All the use that you give it is going to soften it up, and it will become more sharp. So I just give these a gentle fold in the beginning, because like I said, it'll open, close, and then it needs to be able to take a beating. Sometimes if I find that I press too hard or these things are wearing, washi tape is a wonderful fix for that. And I always put a little glue under my washi tape to make it stay. So there's one, and I need to do that again with another piece. But anyways, here we go. 5.5, or just under 5.5. And then I'm going to move out 3/8. So I have a nice 3/8 spine. And there we go. Get this out of my way. I like to put mine right at my knees. And then give it a gentle press. Now my panels are about, and you know what, if yours is not 5.5, it doesn't have to be exact. Your panels, and when I say panel, I'm talking about what will be in the picture parts of your folio. And yours might be, maybe you want something that's a little narrower. You can do that if you want to. I like mine to be a little bit wider. So you see what I did here? I'm going to take this piece and we're going to glue it onto here. You're going to overlap these two just like that. And this is, you can use the tape if you want to. I'm going to use some of the art glitter glue. This is a glue that I love when, I mean business, and don't come apart, especially at the corners. Ooh, tip. I realized I was just going to be frustrated for the whole rest of the video if I did this, but I didn't use this glue for most of mine. But this, man, that's the stuff. It dries pretty quickly, and it's great for precision work. It dries clear, and again, I think it's worth every penny. So you want to line up the edge just, I've got about 1/8 of an inch to the side of my score line here. A little bit. We're going to basically repeat this process on each side. Take your, you need one each of your folded down the middle pieces, and we're going to glue one on the outside of each of these, okay? So the other glue that you can use is this, well, of course, any kind you want to, but I'm gonna use Fabri-Tac because I'm gonna tell you about my Fabri-Tac journey. When I started junk journaling, everybody was using Fabri-Tac, and I was like, why would I use this for paper? It's for fabric, and I do so. I like to machine quilt, actually. And I absolutely hated this stuff. I hated it because I found it was watery, it was runny. They said that it wouldn't, you know, warp or buckle, and mine did. And I was like, I don't understand what people are all excited about. This stuff is not the best. And so I just had it sitting around and just tried to use it up on things I didn't care about. Again, notice that I'm leaving just a tiny smidge, maybe more like 1/16 now on this one, to the side of the score line and not putting it right smack in the score line. And that will allow that flexibility. Anyhow, so why am I using it now, you may ask? Well, I think that there's kind of a learning curve to Fabri-Tac. For one thing, mine was really watery and wet, and I would leave the lid off like I have it now. And I think that over time it's dried a little bit, and so it's not a problem. You don't have to use one of these. Did you figure that out? You can just press it, but these are kind of handy. So wait till they go on sale and grab one. All right, so I've got one side that's done. See how that folds like that? Now I'm gonna do the other side. This side now folds, and this side now folds. And then you want to make sure that you can fold both of these and it lines up. If it does not, if you find that, oh my gosh, I can't, like I can't quite fold this shut, pop it in your paper cutter, just shave off a tiny bit here and a tiny bit here until you get it fitting in there exactly the way you want it to. All right, beautiful. So now we've got the base of our folio. I decided to letter and number these sides to try to keep it simple. It didn't go exactly as I planned, but that's okay. You'll get the idea. So this is my centermost piece. I have my folio opened all the way up, and I numbered that 1. This is 2 and 3, 4 and 5. And then on the other side, I gave letters. So my very center piece is A, B, C, D, and E. That's how I did it this time. So come to your number side that folds in like this. This is where we're going to start. You need to take your magnets and first of all, identify which side is which side is going to stick to what. These are some that I found off Amazon. I don't have a lot of tolerance for bad magnets, so I'm pretty picky about mine. But there is such a thing as magnets that are violently strong. So what we want is for our folio to be able to stick like this with the magnets. Got it? So I will want to have mine in the middle. So I am going to mark E about right here in the middle. I want to put a mark there and not too close to the edge because I'm going to have the edges showing by my paper. So on E, I want to have one end, one closure, right? And then when it closes, I want it to land right here onto B. So B, and you can just mark a little spot in the middle. That's the, oops, I was a little too close to the edge. That's where I want the other one to go. Now I want to have this, I'm going to put a mark on the back that's where this is going to go right here, okay, to E. And then, so this is going to be the front, right? So I want this to stick to that side. So I'm going to put an X on the other side. So I have an X on the sides that need to be glued. Then I'm going to take my glue and stick it on there. And this can probably do with either one, but I'm So we will take a break from that and let that dry. This is going to be the booklet of the part that's like the fun and games. Go ahead and put some paper in here. We're going to actually glue the papers in. So these right here. Now this one, I didn't mean to print out the to-do, but that's what I have. So I'm gonna show you how I handled that situation. See there? I'm just gonna set them in and just glue them one next to the other. I do, however, want to make sure that all of them, like this has more space at the top than the bottom. I do want to make sure that they all go that direction though. So, yeah, let me just decide how I want to do it, how I want to order them. I think I'll do it like this. Just like this. And sometimes you might prefer to put the glue on the edge of the page. Sometimes I do it like that, but I don't know. This time I just felt like putting a stripe down the middle. Back to the folio. Glue is dry and ready to roll. Now you're going to decide what panels you want where. If you pull this open like this, okay, I need to have a calendar on this side and a calendar on this side. Translation, you want to put one calendar on E and one calendar on C, as in Charlie. So you go ahead and glue those in place. Now, depending upon what size magnet you're doing, if you're doing a magnet, you're going to be gluing around it, on it, over it, however you want to do. And I am going to probably just glue right on top of there. You could have a larger piece of paper for your panel if you want your magnet completely enclosed. You could cover it also with washi tape. if you are worried about having like a little, you know, a little dip, a little divot there. When I do this, I will press on the sides a little, so I make it a little more snug around the magnet. See there? And there we go. So this is my November calendar. Calendar on the other side. This will be my December calendar. So I want this part, this seam to be covered by the picture. So let's kind of sketch where that magnet is, the edge of it that I can feel. Let's see if I can cut a hole around it. Let's see if this is big enough. It might be too small of a round size. Let's find out. Oh, look at that. That was really good. There we go. So the first one of these that I made, my little mock-up, I used 10 magnets. This is my first time trying the adventure. This might be a great place for this. One of the things that is easy for me to do is that I forget to read my scriptures, and I'll put it off because I'll justify. I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm doing all this stuff for Christmas, blah, 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 Christmas, blah, 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 Christmas. And then it's like, I have not read my scriptures. How nice that is. Lovely. Let us begin by putting in some little tuck spots. So I'm going to take my, look at that, see, boo-boo side. Also keep a stack of like boo-boo side cardstock. This one you want a nice thin streak of glue. I need this to be able to hold paper well. So that's why I'm using my art glitter glue, because that'll be nice and tight. This, you want to take all the way down to the, what do we call this? The little edge there. And I just want the glue to set in that bottom part, because I want the top part to be able to move, and for what's going here. And what's going here is this. Remember you had the grocery list papers? Well, all I did was I chopped them in half, stacked them up, and then boom, boom, stapled them. I thought about making a little fancy thing, all that jazz. I was like, nah. So I have a grocery list, and I have one for every week of this planner. Then I thought what I would do is go through each and then just score at the top where the top of that page is, like that. I figure I'll score them, and then when I go to the store each week, I can just tear that off, take it with me. So you can do that, or you can just tear off the whole thing off of the staples. So this goes right in here. See there? That's why we want that glued all the way down at the very bottom edge if you can. Other thing you can do is take the last page, fold this down a little bit, which will enable you to have the room that you need to make sure that your booklet clears the top of the folio. See there? So that when this is closed, see how it's not sticking out? So that's another option you have. All right. So now you've got your grocery list, and it's going to reside right there, tucked in there. And then on this side, we want to put a little card here. And this tuck spot will be for whatever random things. I'm envisioning myself needing this tuck spot for maybe a recipe that I've printed out. I think I'll put that off to the side a little bit. So that's what that's all about. We need to now put together the planner part. You ever get an idea in the middle of a project? I did. What I did was I printed a page, one page. This is 32-pound paper. Now, 32-pound paper is a really nice weight. The texture is different. It's not glossy, but it's not matte. It's good. You can see it looks quite matte, but it's not my favorite for journaling on. So it's kind of like that oddball pack, but it's going to be perfect for this because it seems to be a little more durable. By the way, I have an HP printer and I'm on the their little subscription thing. So my ink is color fast. I wanted a thicker piece of paper because I will probably reuse this section. So I want something that's going to last. So I got a nicer paper, folding it in half. I know Canon has an Echo ink, I think they call it, which is another very popular printer that junk journalers use. They love it. It's very economical for them. I don't know if they carry like a water-fast or waterproof ink, but for this type of project, I would want to have that. You know, if it's something you're going to be moving around places. But I wanted this because I wanted this to be the front page of this part of my planner, and I couldn't figure out any other way to get this image on here than to just, you know, cut and paste it. So I'm going to just cut this any old kind of way. So I'll put this right here. Got here by the baker's chocolate. Nice. So much fun. Okay. Now you need your pages that go like this. You need your Christmas Eve page and your Thanksgiving one. Let me take these off of here. Thanksgiving comes first. So you want your Thanksgiving side down and then Christmas Eve on down, and then fold those two in half like so. Alrighty. Now I have my little menu planner part. So I'll put this like this. And we are going to enjoy the magic of no-sew. And we're going to take one of your elastic strips, open it up to the middle where you're going to tie this in. Let's double check. We've got the menu. That's my little cover part. First comes Thanksgiving. Yes, I can plan my Thanksgiving dinner here. And you know what I might do is you could put, it'd be nice to have like a blank spot there. Actually, you know what? This would be like, look at this. Post-its. Oh my gosh, it just gets better and better up in here. Yeah, Post-its. I think I will, you know what I have? Look at this. So I'm gonna take a few little Post-its. How pretty is this? There we go. So ideas, notes, whatever. Boom, there it is. Then I've got my Thanksgiving menu. And then Christmas Eve, which is my family's big to-do, you know, dinner, whatever we're going to do. Last year we did tamales, which is a tradition in the area of Arizona because we're right on the border of Mexico. And that's a Mexican tradition. Then I've got my Christmas menu. And then is New Year's Eve. We like to do like cold cuts and like charcuterie board. before we knew what that word was. And then I'll just have like blank, and I can put some notes here. Maybe I'll move some of those Post-its to the back. And then I've got my tuck spot for my grocery list. So now it's time for me to affix my signature here. So I'll make sure that it's all flat. Beautiful. Fold it in half. And then I will tie it. Tie my knot. And what's fun is, and it's going to get more fun, is to have, I've got some of these things. If we have a longer tail, we can do a little bit of beading on there, which I do plan to do. For this one, I think I want this actually at the bottom. So let me move it like this. So my knot's at the bottom, and then I can decide, like, you know, how long of a tail do I want to have? If I want a tail at all, you know, I can just snip that whole thing off if I want to. But if it's at the bottom here, then it's out of the way. Out of the way. Ta-da! So now I have my menu planner all snug and in there where she goes. Yay! Isn't that neat? Thank you, Carolyn. Okay, let me get my grocery list. And there she goes. She's all tucked away. Ta-da! Now let's take a look at the activities side. Now we need to pull out some of these papers. This is when we need the gift planner page and the Black Friday, Cyber Monday pages. And we'll start with those. Starting with the Black Friday, Cyber Monday pages. Remember, I've got 2 pages in there, each one-sided. I'm gonna separate these, chop these down the middle, because if you're like me, I need more room than this when it comes to Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I decided that I should have like one section for Black Friday and another separate one for Cyber Monday. And so that's how I'm doing it. So I will slice this way, and now I can customize it. So take a white piece of paper, or like I have a boo-boo page, which I've trimmed down to the same size as this. And we'll go like this. We want to fold it in half. Okay. Remember, this is your blank or your boo-boo page, so don't worry about what that says on that side. And then we're going to put Black Friday here. Glue your pin in and close that lid up right away. That's all right. Then the other Black Friday page goes in here. Another option would be just doing your little tape runner thing. In fact, I'll do that just for kicks and giggles and to show off all the different skills, to please all the different styles. Okay, excellent, excellent. And I think I actually want the dangles to be hanging from. Can you see it? Can you visualize it? Yeah, we're gonna put some beads and some fun things on there. All right, so here we have all these wonderful labels that Carolyn made. That's gonna be part of a freebie. And to customize it, I found myself kind of wanting to cut and like write things and like tape them, paste them, glue them, whatever. But here's what's in the kit and in the freebie. We've got a games checklist, Christmas books to read, giving to a need list, party invite checklist, praying for. Isn't that nice? We have selected some choice verses from the Bible that you can look up that will remind you to take it slower and not be caught up in the hustle and bustle of everything. So here are things that I want to have in mind. And oops, I needed to, oh yeah. Oh, that's coming up. I forgot. You need your to-do list. Take your to-do list with your front and back, you know, your 8 weeks. Slice that. You're going to slice that in half. You can choose to staple it if you want to. But I am not stapling mine. I am going to simply clip mine into my planner like so. And I'm going to use, I made a little hidden paper clip. So I'm clipping in the to-do lists. And then we will, remember this? Yes. This is where we're going to put our different activity things. For example, Christmas traditions. I'm telling you, my mom gave us some great ones. And so, okay, what do we want to do for sure? Is our major celebration for Christ is on Christmas Eve. So we will gather, and not only do we read the story of the Nativity out of Luke 2, but we love the worldview, and we reread the testimonies and writings of the ancient Americans who were alive at the time of Christ's birth, but were the other hemisphere. They also saw the star when it came up, and they had learned about the coming of Christ through prophets. And so we like to read their record of seeing the star. And then they also experienced the terrible destruction when Jesus was crucified on the cross. So we do that. We also read, after my mom passed away, we couldn't, you know, it's hard to do your same tradition sometimes when you lose a loved one. So that first Christmas after we lost my mom, we started reading about Jesus's resurrection. So that's what we will focus on. So get the idea. You can make whatever you want to have for your activities, but I wanted to demonstrate how to personalize that. Let's put the to-do lists. Like I said, there's one for every week, and I have them on both sides because sometimes you don't finish what you were supposed to finish from the week before, right? And then we will see how that goes. Now for this, we will put in our little Velcro dots. So this is something you can take out or leave in. Grabby part, where do I want the grab? Put the grabby part on the bottom. And I like to glue these in also. Gently press, and I'm just going to let that dry. I'm not going to be like, that's going to ruin it. So now it's time to move on to the beads, and I thought I would share. I have a glue stick that is repositionable. Okay, this one I decided to do was put this on the back of these scriptures, and then that way I can move them around. I will move them around as I might need them for here, there, wherever. So I put some there. So I got a little assortment of beads here, and let's go. If I had some Christmassy ones, that would be really fabulous, but I do not. I'm going to start with this one, and I think I'm going to tie a knot at the top. Will I tie a knot at the top? I think I will tie a knot at the top. The reason being is that I don't really want it to move around. I want it to stay. And then I could do a little something something for this one also. Let me see how I feel about the way it closes now. And then I'll decide. Let's see here. Well, I think I want just one, right? I mean, I need to be carrying this thing around. And so let me snip off the edge of that. And I will put a little bit of glue on that one, that little knot there, to encourage it to stay. Stay. Lovely. And there we have it. So this one, I can put a little something something on this guy too. I have to decide what I want. Where's my third one? I don't know. It must be tucked in there. I thought I had 3. I think I told y'all to get like 3 ones. So I have 1, 2. What's the third one? Oh, I know what it was. Originally, when I did this, I had an additional piece in here with the really super skinny, like this. So that's something that you can do. Like if you need another section, because Carolyn gave us, like, they're just these blank ones. So you can make your own section and you could put like a third one there, or you can have it like this or however you want. Anyhow, so yay. Oh, almost forgot these fabulous tabs. What I did was I tried to make sure that they didn't bump into one another. Let me move this in better in there. So you can say, how high do I, do I want this? Do I want them sticking all the way out so I can read it from the outside of the folio? Do I want it protected inside of the folio? I kind of want mine protected. So I'll put menu planning over here. Actually, I wanted that one over here, but that's okay. Menu planning. What else do I have? I have calendar, and I'll put calendar on the outside. If I had a blank one, I'd probably do one for like activity planning, that goes in the little activity booklet portion that I made. So I'll put the calendar here, just because, this is what it's about. Calendar, menu planning. And then for this side, I've got gift planning and shopping. So I'll put those towards the middle. That way they don't, overlap, like if you had them all together, like if it was closed together. But anyways, so let me do that real quick. And then let me just finish up by saying that having the ability to customize it makes this really fun. And so I really appreciate that. I'll put the shopping one like here in the middle. So this is really exciting to me. Thank you so much for crafting along with me. I hope that you got some inspiration in that, like, I could help somebody the way that so many of you have helped me and given me such fantastic ideas and shared your skills and your problem solving with me. I really appreciate that. That's what it's about, right? Just helping each other out and making our holidays happier and keeping them focused on whatever it is that we want it to be focused on. So yeah, there we go. Holiday planner.